Carlos, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm the founder and president of the Hispanic Heritage Project. My family was from Chihuahua, both my parents. And all my life, I had an interest in my cultural background and my history. And that's what drove me to genealogy.
Wow.
And I was a member of a club in Southern California called Somos Primos. And there was a group of us researching the Parral Archive because it had been microfilm, and 336 reels of microfilm were at the University of Riverside. And we were there frequently looking at the images and doing our research.
And these were images that were from the Parral Archive, and that's where your family's records are mostly found, correct?
Right. It was not the capital of Durango, but because they had discovered silver there, a large silver deposit, all the governors for 100 years lived in Parral.
Wow.
They want to be close to the money.
And so this was during colonial times, correct?
Colonial times.
Wow.
And as we got more and more involved in researching that, I made a trip down there and visited the archive, and I noticed that they had needed a lot of help.
Mm.
You know, those 366 reels of microfilm were in cardboard boxes on the floor.
Wow.
The microfilm reader wasn't working, and so we started helping them through the Utah Genealogy Society, which is now Family Search. I was able to get used equipment, and we took it down there and helped them out. They were organizing their collection because they had a new director that wanted to organize it according to the UNESCO guidelines, which it was new. A lot of people talked about it, but nobody was actually doing it because it was a lot of work. You had to take your documents that were usually bound like books, and they had to separate them and put them in order by subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
Thematic archive catalog.
So you started off consulting the resources you had at your local library in California, and you were doing what, like genealogical work?
Right.
Okay. And then so that's when you ended up getting in touch with the actual archive in Mexico. And then you found out how devastated the condition of the documents were in, or at least their management style of the archive. And so tell us about what did you do to help the Parral Archive? And was the Hispanic Heritage Project already formed at that time?
We formed it about 3 or 4 years later when we started a project that needed money. And so we registered ourselves as a 501c3 and started raising money. But
I see. So part of formally organizing your organization was to be able to raise money and just function legally, correct?
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We were all donating money, and it started getting
it's a little hard to keep track of that stuff when people are donating money, right?
So we needed more than what we were putting out, so we reached out. And luckily enough, at that time, I was living in Escondido, and we had started a project to buy more Hispanic genealogy books in the library. And a friend of mine had an orange grove, and I asked him, "Hey, can we pick some oranges to sell?" And he says, "You can pick my whole grove."
Wow.
We didn't want to do that.